Hey y'all, my name is Amy Grimmett and welcome to day 2 of Sharing in 5. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite parts of Plexus, and that is about how to share on social media. For those of you who are introverted, this is really going to help you feel comfortable about sharing your story. And every story is so powerful, so I encourage you to do so. So I'm going to be glancing over here at my notes. So if you see my eyes go over there, that is why. So getting started. What you need to do is simply share your story in a relatable, vulnerable way. So Amy, how do we do this? Okay, so we're going to first start off talking about our first Plexus post. So when doing this, I want to make sure that you use no graphics. I know Pinterest is full of them, so stay away from there. No graphics. I would even encourage you to refrain from using a typical counter photo of your products for your first Plexus post. Y'all, this is your first Plexus post. This is your first touch of your story with your friends and family. So you want to make sure that you are relatable. So I would encourage you to use a picture of yourself, a picture with you and your kids, maybe a whole family photo, you with your husband, whatever that may look like for you, some sort of family photo or just yourself, but make sure that you are in that photo. And if you want to have a pink drink with you, that's totally fine, but make sure that your face is there, because remember, your friends on Facebook are there because they want to see your face. So make sure that it's super relatable and that you do not use a graphic. When we start off sharing our story, y'all, and I have been with Plexus for 5 years. So when I actually started sharing pretty early on. I was super excited. I had energy and less inflammation. So I started sharing pretty early on. I didn't get to go and say that I had dropped 10 or 15 pounds, but I did have some awesome wins. And so celebrate those, y'all. Those are relatable, okay? So we're going to celebrate our small wins, and we are going to connect with our friends by being vulnerable. So how are you going to do this? I'm going to give you an amazing first post example here in a minute, and that can kind of show you how we can go about doing that. But as you go along, when you first start sharing about Plexus, I want you to think about where you were, why you are doing this, and where this is going to take you. That's what I want you to share with your audience. So remember that as you start to journal your story. That's a really awesome way to look at it. It's every day, just kind of journal how you're feeling and share that with your friends and family, and that's going to be super relatable. Y'all, allow your walls to come down. Show your imperfections. Most people are really uncomfortable doing so they don't do it a lot. We always talk about Facebook being our highlight reel, and you see all of the happy and all the wonderful, and that is great, but y'all, to be relatable, you're going to want to let those walls down and let people connect with you. And if I'm being completely honest, people who are really uncomfortable sharing their imperfections are going to notice others first, and that is going to help connect you with them. So that's going to be really, really good. So set yourself apart from the rest and be vulnerable, because y'all, that's going to make you so much more relatable. When you're writing your posts, they don't need to be a novel. Short and sweet and to the point. I usually say 3 paragraphs is really good. It's enough to get your story out there, but it's also not too lengthy so that people stop reading. We want to make sure that they're getting the whole picture and the full story. So make sure that if you have more to say, I recommend maybe breaking it up into 2 posts, and then you already have one for the next day. Okay, so let's get back to that first Plexus post. How can we be vulnerable? So it can sound something like this. Hey y'all, I don't think a lot of y'all know, but I have been struggling with XYZ. I saw my friend Amy posting about Plexus, and I really wanted to try this for myself. I've been on the products for about 7 days, and so far I have noticed XYZ. I would love it if some of my friends would do this with me. So what did you do? You were vulnerable. You talked about how Plexus was helping you. And then one of the key things that you did is you invited some friends to do this with you. Y'all, People love to do things together. That's why we have so many groups on Facebook, so many common interests, workout groups, recipe groups, animal groups, mom groups. There's so many groups out there because people, they want that community. So make sure that when you're sharing your story that you don't forget that tool. I hope this was super helpful for y'all. We have some awesome videos that are coming up later in the week. If you do have some fears about this, those are going to address that. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to see y'all on day 3. Bye, guys.